Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well, and my video starts today with a few of the things that you're going to see me get up to. I have been working all day on the house. From the school run, I went to the supermarket and then I literally spent the entire day working. I had a small lunch break, otherwise I have not stopped. And it got to about 4 o'clock and very soon I needed to pick my daughter up, and I thought, oh my goodness, I just need to sit down and have a drink. I was boiling hot, my legs ached and very, very thirsty. So obviously I've not drunk enough water today either. So you're going to see me sorting out piles and piles of washing, clearing up the dining room table. After doing all of the corner in the dining room, I now wanted to sort out everything on the table. Then you'll see me hanging out the washing and putting more washing on. You're going to see me maintaining the kitchen. Oh goodness, I'm so busy in this video. So I hope you're all well. I hope you've all been able to get the jobs done in the house and garden that you'd like to. And I just wanted to say, if you haven't already shared with us where you're from, we'd love to know where in the United Kingdom, where in America and the rest of the world you are watching from. I find it really, really interesting to know all the different states in America that you're watching from. We've got people from, goodness me, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, New York. Where else have we got people? Nebraska, Nevada, California, Connecticut. So many places across the United States. Then we've got people from Canada, near Toronto, Chicago. No, that's America. Quebec. So many places. Then in Europe, we've got people across England, all different counties in England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland, Italy, France, Belgium, Germany, Switzerland. Then we've got people in Austria, Australia, New Zealand. Anyway, the list goes on. You can tell how I like knowing where you're all from. So if you haven't already shared, please do. I'd also love to know where you are on your own journeys. So I've got a mix of people that follow me. I've got some people who are a bit like me. I've got some people who their past life was a bit like me. I've got other people who are trying to get tidier. I've got lots of people that have an immaculate house, really, really tidy. Even people that tidy other people's homes. So it's a real mix. So as you know, for the month of October, anything that I get from ad revenue will be going to the TLC charity. That's a charity that provide teddy bears to children in times of distress. Now, I did receive a lovely email today from the man from TLC charity, and he's put a couple of comments. So he said, Teddies for Loving Care, so it's TLC, began in March 2001. After a lady was rushed to Southend Hospital following a severe allergic reaction. Now, but thanks to the medical staff, she recovered completely, but that experience made the couple, her and her husband, think about the distress that children feel when they attend accident and emergency. And after discussions with a number of other people, they came up with the idea of TLC, Teddies Loving Care. So that first year, Essex TLC gave away 25,000 teddies. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And Graham has written, if we think for a moment how as adults we can feel when we've maybe been distressed, frightened or anxious, when we attend hospital appointments or doctor's appointments, think about how a young child must feel. I know certainly from a personal perspective, somehow I managed to not show any emotions when I'm with my daughter, in terms of I have been in situations where I've been really, really upset, distressed, all those emotions that you feel as a parent when you're there to protect your child and you want to make your child feel better, but you can't show that to the child, because if their parent, if that adult appears stressed or bursts into tears, then obviously that's going to be a massive impact on the child. So Graham has explained how the teddy bear has become an invaluable tool for medical professionals and a real comfort for children in stressful circumstances. So you watching this video, watching the adverts a little bit longer, watching any of my old videos, it's going to really, really help raise as much money for this really, really lovely charity. Now, a little while ago, you would have seen me leave the dining room with the mini fridge. The mini fridge was in the dining room for the guides camp. My husband brought it in from storage outside, and we had all the sausages in there. And some of the, did we have any in the mince? I think it was mostly sausages because they wouldn't all fit in our fridge. So I wrapped that all up, took it outside, put it in the outside storage area, and as I came in from the side door, I stood on this old pink curtain. Actually, it came from the house that I was doing some work on earlier in the year. We used it a couple of times for decorating cloth, but then I used it the other day because my garden cushion now has got completely covered in cement and completely destroyed, really. I can't use it for gardening because my clothes will end up covered in cement and dust. So I used it, you might have seen on my other channel, where I laid it out and was sitting on it as I was weeding. But as I walked in, I stood on something that felt like, oh, like, has my husband put some old potatoes at the door? Because sometimes, like, if the food bin's full and, you know, say he found some potatoes and they were gone for it, he might just open the back door and put them outside of the back door and then forget and leave them there. And I thought that felt strange. So I went back, and as I lifted up the cloth, that suddenly felt very heavy. I thought, this is really odd. Well, to my utmost excitement, I cannot tell you how this has made my day, made my week, made my month. I'm overjoyed. There, in the pink cloth, is a big hedgehog. Now, as I moved the cloth, it moved a little bit, so I hope that obviously when I walked in, maybe I caught the side of it. I don't think I actually stood on it, because I would have felt that on my foot with the spikes, and that would obviously been very damaged. But it's made itself, it's got like a plastic bag, and then inside, underneath this pink cloth, and right at the very end of the video, I've done a little clip so you can see. So I was so excited about this. I've messaged somebody that knows more about hedgehogs than me, and they've said just to keep an eye because it could be a pregnant female. Our weather has been all over the place, so today is beautiful sunshine. It feels like a spring day today, so it's a bit early, I think, for hibernation because the weather hasn't, we had a few colder days, but actually we've had some warm days. So tonight, I'm going to put some water out and I'm going to get some dog food and I'm going to put that out and see whether it feeds. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I was so excited. Isn't it funny though? I've got two hedgehog houses, one which a hedgehog has nested in before, another which it was actually underneath a shelving unit, and I lifted the shelving unit up and I suddenly realised there was a hedgehog there. So I actually put some bricks either side and a piece of wood over the top and like created. So I knew a hedgehog had gone in there. But yeah, to actually have one under this pink cloth. So the hedgehog people said what you could do is you could lift up the cloth and take it to like underneath a shrub. My mum said I could put it like at the end of the garden. But the thing is, where it is at the moment, it's completely dry. So I don't really want to put this pink cloth outside because then it would all get cold and wet, won't it? I'm getting hungry now. I want to do my lunch, but I also want to get this done. Now, where can I put that? I don't want to put it on the side. And I don't want to wash it yet. That'll do. Right, so you get your muslin. I'll probably do it double ways. Like that. No, I won't. I'll do it like, I'm trying not to get it on the thing really, but that doesn't matter, I suppose. Like that. And then I don't want to cause too much of a splash. And yes, it is still quite hot, but we need to make sure we scrape all of that. Otherwise, I've got some on the oven. I'm trying to keep my oven clean. Some of you might know from my other channel. You can see how the berries are really dry when I put them in. And now they're all plumped up because they're full of liquid. That's it. Put that into rinse. So I'm not left with loads of stains on the saucepan later. And then we're just going to drain it. Now I've not got quite as much as what I would have liked, but I'd rather have less and have it stronger than more than have it weaker. And you can see how it is still quite hot. And what I should have done, I should have got a plate to hand. So if you are interested, that video is on my other channel and I'm making elderberry syrup. So I forage in the garden for different herbs and I add that to my dried elderberries that I've had in the cupboard for far too long. So I just wanted to use them up really. It's perfect time of the year to use them up. The recipe is very similar, very simple even. You can follow along at your own time. So if you're interested, look me up on Emma's Life in Norfolk and you'll be able to see the recipe for the elderberry syrup. Tastes very nice. Is a little bit sweeter than what I normally make it, but that's obviously connected to the honey, but tastes very nice. So you can see this is the 4th day of me keeping on top of the kitchen. So there are a couple of things on the ends, right on the left there. They're things that I'm giving to my dad. Well, I'm going to ask my dad if he wants them. I've got a saucepan there which has still got a little bit of elderberry syrup, so I'm not going to wash that up because I'm going to let my daughter and husband try that when they get in. And I've hardly got anything on the side, so I'm very pleased. And because the kitchen was so tidy this morning, that enabled me to actually make the elderberry syrup rather than spend a whole hour tidying up the kitchen. So I felt really happy about that. On the next video, you'll then see me outside, and it was a bit of a shock to the system because it's really, really warm. I hardly need my hoodie. So I take all the washing down, which is now dry. I'm absolutely loving this veranda for the washing. It's just so super. Because like yesterday we had a bit of rain, but all my washing is out there, lovely and dry, lovely and fresh. Folded it all up, took it in. So I'm really, really very pleased about that. It's working really well. It's saving me a lot of time, and also, of course, it means that my washing's not sitting about everywhere. So that pleases me, and it's getting dry quicker, which is good. So I'm going to go through some of your comments now. So thank you very much to those people that take the time to add comments to my channel. Most of you that have been following me for a while will know that I read every single comment. I reply to most of them. Sometimes somebody adds a comment and YouTube doesn't tell me, so sometimes I miss them. But generally, I will comment to every single one. So I'm going to read through some of your comments now. So Deja Grenage says, Emma, you are doing amazing. Keep moving forward. Stacey in Virginia. Thank you very much, Stacey. You always write such lovely comments on my channel. Winds of Change says, hello, Emma. I've been watching your videos now for several months and really enjoy them. They're getting me motivated. I haven't yet shared where I'm from, so I'm in Cheltenham, Gloucestershire. Thank you for telling me, Winds of Change. So you say you're getting motivated, so have you got plans to do something in your house? Cami Hell says, our president loves your king and your country, and he's very respectful when he speaks of them. Thank you very much, Cami. As many of you know, I do really like our royal family. So I saw the Queen once in her car when I was in London, but I never met the Queen other than seeing her. I've seen Princess Anne. I've met the King. I met the King when I was about 11, and I saw the King and the Queen earlier this year. I nearly said last year, that was this year, along with Anne, and also Edward and Sophie. I like Edward and Sophie. They're two of my favourites. And when I was umming and ahhing about thinking about this event this year, I was thinking, I really hope Edward and Sophie are there, and they were. So I do like our royal family, and I know people have different views about this sort of thing, but I do think I like the history, and I like how people enjoy the history when they come to the United Kingdom, visiting the royal palaces and different places in London. And of course in Norfolk we have one of the royal residences, Sandringham. Absolutely beautiful house, and you can visit the house and gardens. And the royal family do spend a lot of time in Norfolk, and the Queen used to really love coming here. Next comments. Cami says, maybe get a paper towel holder that goes under the counter and you won't have to store it on the countertop. Now it sounds like, I'm sorry, I've just never, it sounds silly, but I've just never thought about that. I've always had the kitchen roll just kind of hanging around, and I thought all the other people's houses that I go to, they have one of those wooden poles. So I thought that was a good idea. Karen Howard said, keep up the great work. Thrilled to see the back corner all cleared out. Matty Casey says, your countertops are so pretty. Thank you very much. Cynthia says, hello Emma. Is Cynthia here from Texas? Our temperatures are slowly coming down, but it's still in the high 80s. Wow, it's really, really hot. Goodness me. I replied and said, will it be cold in December? And Cynthia said it could snow, it could be 60 to 70 degrees. We never know what to expect. January and February are our coldest months. So will it snow in January and February? Does it regularly snow? Or is it like England? It's kind of maybe snows every few years. If we get snow, it's usually very light. It doesn't very often lay. I think the last time it actually laid quite heavily was when we had Beast from the East. So that was about 9-10 years ago. Linda Greenacre says, I love your new veranda and the lovely big patio. Thank you very much. Carrie Rawson says, hi Emma, I haven't commented for a long time, but just had to say I feel your pain with catching up with your washing. I've just got back from a cruise on the Norwegian fjords. On my word, have I got some washing to do. Keep up the good work. You're doing amazing. I love this time of year. Darker nights, cosy and warm curtains. Shut fire glowing. Oh, wow, your cruise sounds nice. Did you enjoy it? Sounds like that'll be pretty amazing. I've never been to, I've crossed into Norway, but I've not visited properly. We will have our open fire, but we've got 2 open fires downstairs, but I need to make sure that the balloons, we've got the balloons in the upstairs bedrooms. Otherwise, you've got to be really careful if you don't get that draft So we have to open one of the windows in the front room where the fire is, and then we have to put the balloons in the chimneys upstairs. Otherwise we get smoke that somehow goes up the chimney and then comes back down into the bedroom. It's most strange. So we've got to do the balloons before we put the fire on. Three Boy Mama says, as a mother-in-law, I'm laughing at how you said you should have listened to yours. That is true. That was when I was talking about the kitchen floor. She said, my mother-in-law said, whatever you do, don't have an all black floor. But of course, I knew what I wanted to do, didn't I? So I had an all black floor. And she's right. You see every tiny little speck of dust, of hair, of food, anything. Three Boy Mama says, we are always right. Since you dislike putting things away, maybe you should set a timer and challenge yourself with the time. Make a game of it even. Do keep trying. Thank you, Three Boy Mama. I can't remember where you're from. Maybe you could let me know. Nan Holmes says, good job, Emma. I'm glad you persisted. A lot of people have gone to homeschooling now because of the same issues. I know, Nan. It's very sad, but I do feel like things will improve. I do feel like more and more people are standing up and saying small children do not need to know about this. I think back to when I was small, and some of the things that I got taught at 13, they now want to teach at 9. And some of the 9 and 10, some of the lesson plans are quite explicit. So if I was to talk about them, A, if anyone's got children in the room, it wouldn't be suitable. B, I don't know whether YouTube would put some sort of warning on my channel. The lesson plans honestly are shocking, and also certain topics which children just need to enjoy being children, and then they can wait until they're older and to decide, you know, who they are and what they are, etc., etc. I think most of you know what I'm talking about. The thing that I'm mostly concerned about is I work with quite a lot of police officers, people who used to be in the police, who've retired, etc. And we've had various different conversations. And actually, of course, there are amazing teachers. I've got some friends who are currently teachers and are ex-teachers. I've got family members that were teachers, all go into teaching for the right reasons. But what I've been told is when you look at the stats, there's the highest percentage of a certain type of person that works in teaching compared to any other profession. And then you get certain types of people that want to teach certain types of lessons. That's a worry. That it really is a worry. I can think back to one of my teachers in high school, and you think, really, I wonder whether he really must have enjoyed teaching certain lessons, which is a bit of a worry, isn't it? Katerina Montague. Hello, Katerina. She says, hi, Emma. I wrote a long comment the other time and it completely disappeared. I said you were engaged in so many things you would have to clone yourself to keep up with everything and have an immaculate house. So be gentle to yourself. You are still making progress. Greetings from Austria. Thank you very much, Katharina. Is it Katharina or Katerina? I work with a Katerina, or I used to. Bernadette Smart says, hi Emma, I don't know why, but I never get any ads on your videos. I would watch them all to increase the ad revenue. Have you got any ideas? Now I did go back on some of my videos and I realised that I hadn't chosen mid-roll. You can have adverts at the beginning, adverts at the end, but I hadn't opted for mid-roll adverts. So I changed that. But then Karen Howard said I didn't get any adverts on my channel in Canada. Some of you pay premium, you won't get adverts. But a number of you have said to me that you don't have premium and you're not getting any adverts. So I don't know why that is. Whether it's the country that you're in, maybe that's something different. But are you getting adverts on other channels? Very strange. I'm not sure at all. So you can see while I've been talking the amount that I've done with the washing. So I'm making a point of putting all the summer clothes in the chest of drawers. So I've done that both for my things and my husband. There's more to do, but there's no point trying to put all the summer things upstairs and we just absolutely have no space. Like I said to you last year, I didn't really put the summer things away. And it was sort of like strange weather where we kept getting warmer days or we kept getting cold days in spring and so on. So I've washed now all my husband's shorts and lots of the t-shirts which are only worn in summer. Some of the cases there that you see me moved, I've put them, they need to be put away. They actually go away in the upstairs loft room, but at the moment I'm putting them just in the spare bedroom because I'm trying to get on top of the laundry. And actually taking all this laundry up 2 flights of stairs really took it out of me. I felt quite exhausted. So I think that's where it comes back to doing little and often. Rather than having 4 massive great loads. I felt really exhausted after taking them all upstairs. So we still have this problem with the drawer. One of my husband's drawers will not open. I was hoping we'd be able to sort that last weekend or the weekend just gone, but we just didn't get a chance. So hopefully this weekend. So on Saturday, my daughter and I are going to the zoo with Girl Guides, which my daughter's very excited about, so that should be a nice day. My husband's going to miss us because we obviously always spend Saturday together, but he can't do the drawer by himself. I suppose I could help him move the mattress off the bed and then he could unscrew all the slats. That might be one option. Well, I'm going to go through some more of your comments now. So Casey says, a lovely, lovely charity. I used to buy up loads of soft toys each Christmas to donate to a particular orphanage in Spain when I lived there. It brought me so much joy to know the kids would have a present. Well done for your caution regarding the daughter and the spray. If your fridge could talk, it would say, "Ah, that feels better." Oh, that sounds lovely, how you collected the toys. What a nice thing to do. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it, when you know you do something like that and then the children are going to benefit. How nice. And yeah, I do have to be careful with the spray. And can you believe a lot of the children have now become unwell after having it, unfortunately. Purpose in Mind says, congratulations on reaching 4,000 subscribers. What an achievement. I do clean our fridge regularly. We recently moved and I have neglected it since. So I'll give it a good clean out tonight after dinner when we take out the rubbish, and then sit and write up my menu plan and shopping list ready to do the food shopping tomorrow. That's very organised, Anne. Very organised. Your home is getting tidier and tidier. And there's 3 hands look like they're clapping. And there's Anne in Tasmania. Thank you ever so much for your lovely post. I appreciate that. I think it's all about having systems and methods to help your future self. Oh, I've got to tell you all what happens. So you know the cot, the little baby doll cot, which is sitting by my doorway. And my dad said to me the whole thing about looking for the little extra bit. And I've looked for the extra bit of trim and it's not there, so it can't be repaired. Charity shops won't take it. If it can't be repaired, you can't really give it away because who's going to want it because it's got a missing bit. So I was hoping that my dad would take it for me. So I messaged him and said, I've emptied out the cupboard and the missing part is not there for the little cot with the sad face. I'm not sure if it was there when my daughter was given it. Obviously I said her name. I'm not sure it was there when my daughter was actually given it. So I really just wanted my dad to say, don't worry about it. When I come round next, I'll take it away. Because he knows what I'm like with some things, because he's the same. So this is what he replied with. It's a shame, but 3 little girls have happily played with it. You can think of those childhood days as you sit by your winter fire, feeding it feeding it with the old cot and thinking of the winters of long ago. Oh my goodness. Now can you understand why I feel sentimental or have hoarder instincts? It's a shame, but 3 little girls have happily played with it. You can think of those childhood days as you sit by your winter fire, feeding it with the old cots and thinking of the winters of long ago. Oh dear. This is why I have hoarder instincts. So you can see I'm keeping on top of the bathroom, but I noticed there are a few things left from when my daughter had a bath that were starting to build up. But that literally took me about 5 minutes. I picked up the things from the floor. There were some like face wipe things that she's been using, like reusable ones to wash her face. She's for some reason needed to get 10 out, so I've taken some and just put some in the wash and just left the 2 that she's using. And then I just restocked all the tissues. Do you know, I get these little packets of tissues from Lidl's. When I was a child, we just tended to use toilet paper to blow a nose, like if you got a cold, which is what I'd still do. But my daughter and husband, every single morning as the seasons change, they need to blow their nose quite a lot. And I don't think it's nice. The tissue, the toilet paper can be quite rough, which is why I've got those packets of tissues. And also that means that she has one in her bag and one in her little rucksack wherever she goes. And I bought a really big container, well, you know, the plastic container. I suppose there's about 20, and we've hardly got any left, so I bought some more when I went to the supermarket. So yes, I did throw some things down the stairs, just out of ease, and then I quickly picked them up. Some things to go in the wash, and other things that I went upstairs that should have stayed downstairs, like washed tea towels, towels and cloths, so I put them away in the kitchen. I need to sort out that bird house which is on the stairs, because that doesn't look very tidy sitting there. But that's a bird house that I bought from John Lewis, which was faulty. You couldn't screw it together because the wood parts were the wrong size. And then I do another load of washing. So I'm getting quite close to the end of my video now. So thank you very, very much for watching my video. Right at the very end, you will see my great excitement of the hedgehog that's at my back door. Now, I've told so many people about this, I can't remember whether I've told you, and I've recorded this voiceover over 2 days, so I may have already told you about this. But the update is, and I'll add a little picture, I left some hedgehog food out last night and some water, and this morning some of it had been eaten, and the hedgehog is now under the plastic bag and under the cloth. So it's really kind of bedding down there and looks very big, although we are a bit concerned that it could be a pregnant female. I'm hoping not, because that would mean the babies would have to go into a rescue, and I couldn't bear the thought of the babies being separated from the mum. That would be so, so awful. Now, it looks a real mess at my back door, but can you remember just the other day on my other channel I was using this pink cloth to weed, wasn't I? And I was, you know, sitting on it, and then it's the coat that I was wearing, and there's a couple of things at the back door left like that because I brought the bin in from the porchway into the kitchen. So I left the food out and water out yesterday, and this morning some of it has been eaten, and to my surprise but pleasure, the hedgehog's back, this time underneath the plastic and underneath the pink cloth. So maybe I've got a little friend for the winter. Then there's a quick clip where my husband's finished the tiling outside. He's done a really, really good job. And then right at the end, you'll see a clip of me making elderberry syrup. So if you haven't already seen that video on my other channel, Emma's Life in Norfolk, please have a little look. So thank you very, very much for watching this video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching the adverts and helping me raise lots of money for this charity. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye! So I better just put these things back. And I might need 2 of those. My husband's got 3, which was exactly what I asked him for. Then you need a big saucepan. So I'm probably going to use my big pressure cooker.